Good afternoon, everybody. It's your girl Stephanie Robles here. I just finished having a water fight with the kids and having a ball on this really hot day. And I just kind of felt compelled to talk about the forgotten ones. And sometimes it seems that the burdens in life, they kind of attack you and they kind of hold you prisoner a little bit. The weight of the world seems on your shoulders and you're constantly putting everybody else's needs before your own instead of taking care of ourselves. And I think we all often suffer from that. And I think it's an issue that we all go through. So I wrote a poem just about that whole dynamic, that everything about that. It's called The Forgotten Ones. The ones that everyone sees as strong, they never bother to ask how you're doing all day long. Always has a kind of words for everyone else. Gives to others except to ourselves. This is the story that the forgotten ones carry. We wear a mask of strength and grace, but inside we're suffering, wondering how to make it to the next day. We are careful to never let that mask slip, for if we do, someone might ask a question or two. This is the story of the forgotten ones carry. No one sees the stress and pain we're under. We are always fighting the battle of addiction, cancer, PTSD, or being a single parent, or some others. When that burden gets too hard, we go to our knees. We look for prayer, hope, joy, and so hard to make others just believe. Hold on one more day so others offer us some saving grace. This is the forgotten one's story of burden. Some may see our burdens as strength. They keep us forgotten ones in the fight. That one time we think it's all over, something whispers inside, just give it one more try. Somehow that whisper gives us the strength to continue to rise, breathing into us that feeling of being alive. This is the story of us being no longer forgotten, because we are all just trying to live our life day to day and by night to night. And I wrote that poem because we do forget to take care of ourselves. We're so busy trying to just make it and survive and doing whatever it takes. We all have problems. We all have issues that we deal with on a daily basis. And people see us as being strong. Like we don't need anybody. We're fine. We're okay. But in those rare times when nobody's looking around, that mask slips a little bit. And right when we need someone the most, maybe just someone to ask how we're doing or are you okay, that's when they don't notice us. They don't see our burden. And sometimes we fall through the cracks just like everybody else. And of course, we're too proud to ask for help, and we kind of go to prayer or we grab onto something at those low moments and those low times. And that's what that poem was all about. That internal struggle inside that we face, because we don't want anyone to see that vulnerability. We don't want anybody to think that we're weak or that we can't make it. But there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being vulnerable. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. There's nothing wrong with sharing your struggle or your load with others. There's so much strength in unity. And there's so many people out here that will help you and lend a hand and an ear to help guide you sometimes, because we all get lost. We all need some help. Because life is hard. Life is not easy, and it doesn't come with a manual. You do the best you can with what you have. And if you're facing, on top of that, struggle, your family's going through a struggle, or you're going through a struggle, that makes it 10 times harder. And that's why I say sometimes we can be forgotten. We are forgotten. And sometimes we even do the forgetting ourselves. Hey, Scott, thank you so much. And it just goes to show you how much some people need that one word of kindness. Just that attention a little bit, almost. And sometimes we need to give ourselves some attention. We need to give ourselves some peace. Sometimes you got to take a step back one step back to move 3 steps forward. And it's okay to be a little selfish sometimes. Because if you're like me, I tend to overburden myself to avoid those emotions and those feelings, especially when I'm going through something difficult or hard, and I try to avoid it instead of confronting it. And it's difficult. And I want you guys, I really do want you guys to know that there's help out there. There's somebody out there that is always willing to listen and always willing to have a conversation with you, no matter the time, the day, or the hour. Somebody out there is probably 9 times out of 10 going through the exact same thing that you are. So you're never alone in your burden. And by sharing your story or your burden with somebody else, you help lessen that load on your shoulders. Nobody's saying you're strong, like you're not strong, excuse me, that you're not strong. Sharing that burden with somebody else helps you see to the next day. There's nothing wrong with that. So I hope you guys have an amazing rest of the Saturday. Enjoy the day. Enjoy those moments that you have. Take time for yourself. Disconnect a little bit from whatever it is that you're kind of spending too much time, that's taking your time away from who you are as a person, because you need to nurture yourself. And sometimes disconnecting and pulling away from all the distractions is just what you need to recharge your batteries in your soul and come back to fight another day. Because always remember, you are the most valuable person in this world. Your hugest responsibility is to yourself. Because if nobody will love you more than you love yourself. Nobody. And if you do not take care of yourself, how the heck can you take care of everybody else? So I hope you guys have an amazing rest of the day.